don't think there's any doubt that the basis of removal was race. I mean, again, I had direct personal experience of that, where I was actually able to prevent the removal of 6 children because the mother went and got a lawyer. And it was, I was told, the first time one had been defended when I got it through the court. There was no question of neglect in that case. And I said, why were you doing this? And they said, there are too many Aboriginals in East Perth and we're moving them out. I mean, what a disgusting statement.
So it said, oh, how would your kids like to go on a train journey, like on a holiday, till your mum gets better? And no, kids was, oh yeah, we're excited, and I was happy.
I stayed there for 6 months, and in that 6 months I was brought up with a fence wire. Then repeatedly raped.
The hurt, the pain that you still feel. You see, it never goes away. No matter how I'm 53 years of age, it never it just subsides. The pain, the hurt.
So you sort of, you lose your children, you struggle through life, through mental illness, addiction, and you die a lonely, sad death with nobody around you.
I never got a chance to meet Mum and Dad again. But recently I've seen photos.
My parents saying that we will be neglected from my parents, but they neglected us far more. They abused me, raped me, denied me from food, kept me from the girls in solitary confinement.
And they locked me in there because they told me to stop calling out to me mum. I didn't have a mum.
And I sort of wish I would have had the chance to learn the truth, be in his presence, hug him. I think I would have told him it was okay, just that it was okay. We're a family of 8. We lost everybody. We lost each other. We lost our grandparents. My aunts were looking for us. My aunts were knocking on doors and ringing the welfare. We lost our whole family. They changed our names. They changed our whole heritage, our identity. How can you weigh that up and say that you're better off because you've got a roof over your head and somebody else that loves you?
It's got to be more than sorry. It's got to be sorry business. Not anyone can say sorry. But it's got to be meaningful, and the action that comes after that, what the government does after that, will mean so much more to us than just him saying sorry.
I've never got over it. I think it is an absolute blot on our history, and I'm terribly glad that we're apologising.
Well, I'm very apprehensive about any politicians and their sorries or whatever they've got to offer. It's they've done it in the past and they've all come to nothing. So like the sorry for me is still water under the bridge. It's not really good enough.
Listen to the Australian nation, and that we want to resolve problems. We want to go on together, and he's got to get with it.
The people want reconciliation. They want an apology, and we want to move forward all together.
Get the message and get it right. This country needs a treaty and needs it now.
If he comes up and says, I am sorry fully to Australia for what happened with reparation and compensation to our people, then mate, he's gold.
You cannot do good things to Aboriginal people. You can only do good things with Aboriginal people. And unless the Aboriginal people themselves are part of this and are consulted and brought on board, and it's what they want to happen, and it's happening with government, it won't work.
The grassroots, a lot of individuals can do a great deal, but there are still some things where governments must lead.
Other than that, he's just another politician up there with another story to tell for another vote to get.
Stolen generation people, as well as other Indigenous Australian people, will be receiving an apology, and it's well overdue, and certainly I think it's a wonderful gesture.
I don't know about anybody else, but I believe that a lot of Aboriginal people will just probably sink to their knees. I will anyway.
And thank God it's come, really think whatever you want, but it's time is due. People want change. Our people want change, and I know that the white people want change, and it's going in the right direction. Well, Mr. Rudd, get it right, mate. Get it right.
Today we honour the Indigenous peoples of this land, the oldest continuing cultures in human history. We reflect on their past mistreatment. We reflect in particular on the mistreatment of those who were stolen generations, this blemished chapter in our national history. The time has now come for the nation to turn a new page. A new page in Australia's history by righting the wrongs of the past and so moving forward with confidence to the future. We apologise for the laws and policies of successive parliaments and governments that have inflicted profound grief, suffering and loss on these our fellow Australians. We apologise especially for the removal of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children from their families, their communities and their country, for the pain, suffering and hurt of these stolen generations, their descendants and for their families left behind, we say sorry. To the mothers and the fathers, the brothers and the sisters, for the breaking up of families and communities, we say sorry. And for the indignity and degradation thus inflicted on a proud people and a proud culture, we say sorry. We, the Parliament of Australia, respectfully request that this apology be received in the spirit in which it is offered, as part of the healing of the nation. For the future, we take heart, resolving that this new page in the history of our great continent can now be written. We today take this first step by acknowledging the past and laying claim to a future that embraces all Australians. A future where this Parliament resolves that the injustices of the past must never, never happen again. A future where we harness the determination of all Australians, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, to close the gap that lies between us and life expectancy, educational achievement and economic opportunity. A future where we embrace the possibility of new solutions to enduring problems where old approaches have failed. A future based on mutual respect, mutual resolve and mutual responsibility. A future where all Australians, whatever their origins, are truly equal partners with equal opportunities and with an equal stake in shaping the next chapter in the history of this great country, Australia. Mr. Speaker, there comes a time in the history of nations when their peoples must become fully reconciled to their past if they are to go forward with confidence to embrace their future. Our nation, Australia, has reached such a time, and that is why the Parliament is today here assembled, to deal with this unfinished business of the nation, to remove a great stain from the nation's soul, and in a true spirit of reconciliation to open a new chapter in the history of this great land, Australia.